Hello everyone, and welcome to my Law and Our American TV Show official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Spoilers for Wednesday, September 25, for The Young and the Restless show Sharon sinking more to the sinister side with Cameron Kirsten whispering in her ear. Cameron seems to be pushing Sharon past the point of no return and persuading her to contaminate the whiskey as scheduled. Should Sharon carry out this, she will not be able to regulate the actual consumption of what is in the bottle. Sharon is banking on Daniel Romalotti Jr. drinking that whiskey, but what if someone else gulps it down and becomes an unintentional victim? Heather Stevens was considered as perhaps being safe as she hates whiskey. Conversely, Lucy Romalotti has lately grown rather a drunker and may readily pilfer some whiskey from Daniel's cupboard next. If Phyllis Summers and Summer Newman go to Daniel for a nightcap back at his house, even they could be in jeopardy. In any event, Sharon seems about ready to act in a way that might endanger more than only Daniel. This narrative may spiral out of control, so remain with us for more predictions on the twists and turns ahead. Nick Newman and Maria Copeland will have a strategy session in the meanwhile, since Sharon worries them more and more. Maria and Nick will combine their wits to create a strategy to assist Sharon before things spirals out of control. Unfortunately, it's already too late since Sharon is in the thick of a break-in and poison scheme. Next in Wednesday's Why and Our episode, Phyllis will take matters into her own hands. Will that entail a daring action to support Billy Abbott, or may this relate more to Sharon's narrative? The show shared a pic of Sharon appearing terrified while carrying an empty whiskey bottle, suggesting she might return to the penthouse having second thoughts at some time this week. Sharon might find the whiskey gone and realize there's no redoing her actions. Does it imply Lucy will guzzle it, or may Phyllis catch her and pour it out before she can? Regardless, Phyllis will take care of a scenario, so we'll bring you updates on any big news, and whether it'll be tied to Sharon's strategy. The Young and the Restless spoilers predict Sharon will have a massive spinout no matter how it all goes down, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Tuesday, September 24, shows that Maria Copeland will offer Tessa Porter information on the problem with Sharon Newman, who demanded space after everyone pushed too hard. Nick Newman will also join the chat and ponder if Sharon might be in the Sedona spa, but Maria will admit she already confirmed her mom wasn't there. There'll be some talk regarding Nick's conversation with Sharon's doctor, who couldn't share any private information. Although Nick at least revealed his concerns, the doctor stated all they could do is call the police if they thought Sharon was a danger to herself or others. Maria will confess she feared when Sharon claimed she couldn't live that way, but Sharon assured her that she had no plans for self-harm. At Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s apartment, he'll serve Heather Stevens tea as a peace offering since he knows she doesn't enjoy whiskey. Heather and Daniel will review an off-screen chat from last night, which includes Heather relenting on remaining in town. Daniel will be delighted that Heather's eager to stick around, and will emphasize his supposedly nice discussion with Sharon since she apologized. After Heather and Daniel discuss some fresh career options, they'll kiss as they finish making up. Heather will also be on board with joining Daniel, Phyllis Summers and Summer Newman for dinner later. Since Lucy Romalotti will be performing community service, Heather will remind Daniel that she'll need to be picked up. Afterward on Tuesday's episode, Daniel will head to society and confront Nick, Maria and Tessa's questions. Once Daniel knows they don't know where Sharon is, he'll want them to keep him in the loop on their efforts to find her. In the park, Adam Newman will overhear Faith Newman leaving a message for Sharon and will observe she seems unhappy. Faith will seem cagey at first, but she'll finally realize maybe Adam may help. After Faith brings up how Adam helped Sharon when she was first diagnosed with bipolar disorder, she'll confess Sharon isn't acting like herself. Faith will wonder if Adam can assist locate Sharon down, but he'll shy away from the idea. However, Adam will give Faith some reassurance since he'll know Nick's on top of things. In her motel room, Sharon will have a nightmare about hearing knocking at the bathroom door. When Sharon opens it, Daniel will keep shouting Cassie Newman's name until he collapses onto Sharon. Once Sharon finds blood on the back of Daniel's skull, she'll wake up shocked and bicker with Cameron Kirsten about the dream. Cameron will argue that if Sharon wants the nightmares to end, she needs to do what needs to be done. Sharon won't remember checking in this motel room, nor will she recall the white paper bag that Cameron points out on the bed. Cameron will propose that Sharon was on autopilot and urge her to peer inside. Once Sharon opens the bag and pulls out a bottle of poison, she'll consider whether maybe she should just use it on herself. Cameron will nix the plan and say that Sharon's family would blame themselves forever if she did it. Instead, Cameron will persuade Sharon to finally achieve justice for Cassie, so Sharon will force open the lock of Daniel's apartment with a paperclip and slip inside. Sharon will use gloves to handle Daniel's bottle of whiskey and will contemplate putting poison in it. Cameron will be there to give Sharon one more push to finish the job. The young and the restless spoilers claim Sharon will have a significant decision to make, so we'll pass along additional predictions on any stunning news that's still to come. Maria confesses to Tessa and Nick that she had gone to Madison to see Sharon at her hotel, but her mother had given them the slip and informed her that she wanted time apart from her life, and had admitted she was somewhere unknown. Tessa shows amazement, and Nick offers that Sharon might be at the spa in Sedona. He says he'll phone there and check. Maria advises Nick not to bother. She had previously contacted the spa, but Sharon hadn't checked in there. Sharon wakes awakened to the sound of knocking at her bathroom door. She sits up and is confident that it was a bad dream. She turns on the light, but the hammering on the door continues. Sharon shouts out timidly, "Cameron." There's no response, and the knocking at the door continues. Faith contacts her mom and leaves her a voicemail, explaining that Maria had told her that she was furious. She desperately pleads for her mom to call her. It would mean a lot to her to hear her voice. Adam overhears her and wanders over, alarmed. He asks if she's okay. Sharon cries out again that she's already killed Cameron once. She won't have an issue doing it again. Her statements don't appear to faze the person knocking at the door. Sharon assures herself it's not Cameron since he resides in her head. That noise must be real. She approaches the door as the uneven banging continues. She assures herself that she knows that someone is definitely on the other side of the door. Sharon tells herself to run. She doesn't have to stay here. Instead, she opens the door to the restroom. Daniel stands there with a blank gaze on his face. He says, "Cassie," and collapses into Sharon's arms. His head is covered in blood, and a startled Sharon puts it on her hands. Sharon wakes up, shocked, and learns that she's been dreaming. Daniel gives Heather a cup of tea and calls it a peace offering. He compliments her for backing off on the idea of moving away from Genoa City and asks if she's changed her mind about it. Heather says she still feels they should leave. She's willing to stay, but she wasn't convinced by Daniel and Lucy's reasoning, but she knows better than to try to sway both their thoughts, so she's staying. Daniel grins and tells her she's never liked losing in court or at home. Heather maintains she's never lost a case. They've only been reversed on appeal. She claims she'll do whatever it takes to support Daniel and Lucy's position and her family. She says she won't be resentful of him. They're life partners. Till death do us part. Tessa offers a charcuterie tray and beverages to Nick and Maria, who are sitting at a table. She sits down and joins them. Maria recalls her chat with Sharon and how she'd gone to visit her, but Sharon gave her lies and wove stories. Tessa and Nick know Maria is concerned for her mom. Maria continues her story and recounts about Sharon being defensive. Sharon was thinking clearly enough to know what they were planning. She explains that Sharon called Faith after she'd gone missing in an attempt to cover her tracks. Nick knows Faith blames herself for what's occurred, but he blames himself. He should have never used Faith in a cover narrative to try to get Sharon to contact them. Tessa claims he's doing his best to help Sharon. He shouldn't be low on himself. Nick says he has some more news, but it's not very hopeful. Sharon turns on a lamp and glares at Cameron, who's appeared in the room. She tells him she's not happy to see him and wonders whether he was the one who gave her the nightmare. Cameron says he didn't give it to her. She gave it to herself so she could talk herself out of what needed to be done. Sharon admits that might be true. There's no way she'll do this. She takes some of her bipolar medicine. Cameron laughs and says there's no drug that will make him go away until the deed is done. He says she needs to execute it soon. They both know it'll happen. Sharon claims that Daniel was harmed and bleeding in her nightmare. Cameron agrees and adds Sharon is the only one who can make her dream come true. As Adam kneels down to talk to Faith, she rises up and says she's okay. Adam says his brother, Nick, told him about her accident, and he's convinced that Nick will be able to help her, especially if it has something to do with her mom. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comment below, and if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I will see you guys next time.